Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with the Crappie Connection with Justin Berry.
Brad Chappell.
Man, we got a very special guest for y'all today. He don't only kill ducks, he fishes for crappie. John Godwin, welcome aboard.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
It's fun to be here.
Man, we got man, every time I'm looking at the bait still, you got some baits going on for you. Was it Fin Commander? Tell us a little bit about
Commander, yeah, we go. Well, how that all started, we fish in the spring, and the camera guys for Buck Commander, they're big turkey hunters. So we started 2 new brands, Fin Commander and Strut Commander. So we do that stuff in the spring anyway, so we figured we might as well film it. So we started filming it and got it on the YouTube channel, Duck Commander's YouTube channel, Commander Life. So
Commander Life.
like and share, that's what I'm supposed to say.
Yeah, share and like and share.
Yeah. But the baits, we're friends with Jeff Smith. We partnered with him and come up. He's just made the crappie magnet. This one right here. It's a little bait, just small profile. Just got the little deals on the end, but
Got the split tail where you can put the hook in between it, right?
right, that's what you do. And if you put your niblet in there, you can put it in there, and it really splits it out and gives it a big profile. But look, I can't even hardly hold it still. It's got so much action.
Well, it'd be good single poling and spider rigging and
Yeah.
shooting docks.
Yeah, you can stick a minute between there just right. Give you bait a little more action.
Well, I get some of them.
Pretty cool. Come out with these fin spins for because we started long lining, and it's got the little blade on it, willow leaf blade, and the way the head's shaped, it pushes that water down on that spinner. So you can even spider rig with it, because
awesome.
it'll turn real slow.
Yeah, it's the first time I looked at them, I was seeing that flat head, and I was like, there's something to that I don't know yet. And of course, John explained it to us there.
Kind of a little bit of a concave to it. It kind of shimmies, gives you bait a little more action, you know.
Have them anyway from what, 1/32 you say to quarter ounce?
The quarter, yeah.
So 4 sizes pretty much cover anything you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
From long line of shallow water to long line of deep water to shooting them off side of the boat for casting and dragging.
Chunking and winding.
Chunking and winding.
Chunking and winding.
Yeah.
That's the first time I heard that.
Hey, whatever works.
Dock sheeting with it. Yeah, we come up with this slab curly. The slab magnet, I don't have it with me, but it has a straight tail coming off of it, and it's not, the action's not sideways. It's up and down for jigging.
Vertical jigging.
And I said, I want a curly tail on that thing. So we did, and made it a little longer from the body to where the sickle part starts. But the tail is made in such a way that it'll start spinning at 0.4. 0.3 really every once in a while, but 0.4.
That's slow.
I'm not scared to say that.
Yeah,
I mean, you can spider rig with it. So it's got a lot of action. It's got ribs on it, catch the water.
Now, do some of them
Pretty
glow?
cool. Yeah, the chartreuse from solid chartreuse ones glow. And but it's pretty cool. We got about 10 colors in these.
What's your favorite? What favorite color?
Well, if I had one color to fish, it'd be black and chartreuse.
Black and chartreuse.
That's good everywhere, but you know, you got so many. I mean, just lime chartreuse is good. And they're all good. Purple chartreuse is great. You know, muddy water.
I know. You kind of touched a little bit on long lining right there with that bait. What is one of the things that you do whenever you start out long lining at a new body of water as far as colors? Do you have something in mind if you look at the water clarity, or?
Yeah, you just I look at the water clarity. If I'm fishing clear water, of course, you want the more translucent baits like the monkey milk style baits and chartreuse. And we call this show enough.
Sure enough.
Most people know it as monkey milk, but you'd use that in clear water, your Tennessee shads, and get darker as the water muddies up. Orange and chartreuse, stuff like that.
Yeah, I love orange and chartreuse and dirty water, muddy water.
That'll work everywhere.
You ever throw nibbles on there while you long line?
I never have, because it's a reaction bite. I guess the long lining is the crankbait of bass fishing. It's gonna locate them, and it's a reaction bite.
Right.
Yeah, I've always described it as throwing a ball to a cat or a dog, and just that natural instinct for them is to attack.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that long line comes into play with.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I didn't. When we first started, me and Jay, we was talking about it, and I was thinking, man, I don't want to get all them line counting drills, and I don't want to do that. But you don't have to have all that. We just started doing it.
Just a feel, huh?
Where did he get the idea from?
Well, somebody just said somebody was doing that, and I said, really? I said, I don't think that'll work. He said, yeah, them boys over there in Mississippi do it, you know. I said, well, we'll try it. We just went out one day and threw some poles out, and just far as we could throw, you know, and set it in there, and boy, them things started loading up. I said, boy, what have we been missing?
Right, huh?
Hey, I like this.
Now, you won your first tournament that you entered long lining, correct?
We did.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Man, that was, I got to tell you what happened the night before first.
All right.
So we're going to fish out of my boat. I got an iPilot, which is, you don't have to have it, but it sure is.
Yeah,
Sure is nice. And I went to check my see how my battery was charging. I just hit the pedal, and boy, when I did, smoke just boiled out of that head. So here's a tip: all these new computerized trolling motors, unplug them when you're charging them.
That's what kind of happened, you think? He's charging it?
That's all we can figure. He said that electricity's got to go somewhere. So I don't know if that's what happened or not. But anyway, so we fished the tournament. Jay's in the front. We're in his boat. He's getting on the pedal, getting off. We're trying to stay about 1 mile an hour. So he's getting on the pedal. So I got 6 poles in the back. I'm manning by myself, and he's got 2. And we make this one pass, and I got 5 fish on there. And I'm thinking, and he's hollering, don't let them get off, don't let them get off. I'm like, man, I can't. He said, I can't come back here. I said, so, but I got them all in. It was pretty cool. And boy, it was, and we'd never tried to keep fish alive before. And so we had this ice chest rigged up, had oxygen in it, and one of the fish, it was about 10 o'clock. We kept checking on them. She kept laying on her side, and we was like, oh, no.
How big was that fish again?
It was 2, 3, and we was
sweating a little bit.
Yeah, so
about to have the big
Jay
one on the boat.
said, we better go. I mean, we done caught about 20 or 30, and Jay said, we better go weigh in. I said, I don't think we can weigh in till 1 o'clock. No, they said 11. I said, I don't think so. He said, we better go. So we did. We left. We got up there, and I guess all the sloshing around from the boat, from the truck ride, you know, and she was fine when we got there. And Mike Valentine, he said, well, we can't weigh in yet. And we said, what are we going to do? So we left the boat there. My wife had come up there. So we went to Ruston and went and ate at Applebee's, waiting on time to come back and weigh.
Only fish
That's some kind of confidence right there.
Yeah.
It was just, man.
The stars lined
up. It was awesome. I was thinking, if we could come in the top 10 against these guys, we'd be just ecstatic.
Yeah.
We never dreamed of winning.
A little bit deeper into that. I want to know, how'd you catch them? Tell us the
details.
The details
on that. The details. We caught them.
What bait? What was you using?
We was using 1/8 ounce. We wasn't using fin spins. We had a hook, the Trolar double cross, and it's got an offset eye on it. And we was using it with a pink head and Tennessee shad, curly, and we was fishing 20 foot of water, and the brush pile came up to 8 foot of the top of the water, and we was using 1/8 ounce.
It's a big old brush pile.
And they was coming right over of course the fish was holding right on top of it. And we was 1 mile an hour, 8 foot deep, just right over the top of them.
So you had a kind of like a trolling path already set up.
Yeah, we had 4 brush piles, and we just kept going back and forth. But one time, we was going over the top of them at first, and catching them, and we quit catching them that way. And we made a wide. They started holding to the side,
and we started
catching.
Maybe.
Yeah, but we just went back to catching them. You just had to move back and forth. They're there, you know.
Let them get active, and as you come by the
woods,
awesome. Pick them off.
It was awesome.
What you say, Tennessee shad? Everybody
Tennessee
wanna remember that one.
shad.
Tennessee shad.
Yep. Caney Lake, clear. It's scary.
Now, was anybody else fishing there with you?
They was, we seen 2 other tournament people there. But that's all. We could fish Darbone, Caney, and Claiborne. There's 3 lakes you could fish.
I fished Darbone. I've never been to the other 2 there. Sounds like I need to go there, and I've missed out in the past.
Caney's full of blacks, and Claiborne's full of black.
Mm-hmm. I love a black crappie. Those things
Oh,
fight
nice.
long lining. It's pretty much like a bass when you hook them, especially a Darbone. Those fish over there, when you hook them long lining, I've never seen crappie really come up and actually do somersaults.
Yeah.
They will somersault on top of the water. They are mean.
Aggressive, huh?
Very aggressive and fight.
It's sometimes early in the year, they won't come up either. They'll stay down and dig, and you'll say, that ain't a crappie.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come, you say, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it seems like there's a rule for me, or you want that crappie. If it's crappie, it's coming up pretty fast unless it's a big old slab.
Typically so.
Typically, yeah.
Well, you want him to come up and get him
Out of them
so
lines.
you don't tangle up everything.
Yeah.
And, that's a part of long lining, though, is the tangles and the knots and everything else. On your setup, what kind of knot do you actually tie your jigs with?
I just tie a regular tri-ling knot.
Oh,
you
really?
know? I don't try a loop knot in them or nothing.
And you only pull single
But
jig.
we only
right?
pull a single, yeah. I guess because, Darbone, that's a minefield. You get out of that channel, you get hung up so much, we never put 2 on there.
Right.
But we just tried. I mean, we're still learning. But I've been doing it for probably 5, 6 years, maybe 5 years. But
You're still
I
tweaking
still
it, huh?
learn something every time you go,
Yeah, I noticed with Darbone, too, you will lose a lot of jigs in that lake. But, the fish, you got to fish where the fish are. And especially you're trying to put a lot of fish in a boat and win a tournament, and sometimes that's the sacrifice.
You ain't
of it.
crappie fishing unless you're getting hung up.
Yeah.
Some places that's the key,
Yeah.
but I think that the key sounds like that tournament was actually having some good brush piles marked and coming back and fishing over them, and then knowing the colors that they were hitting.
Yeah, them fish on Darbone, for some reason, I don't know. When they spawn, they get like razor blades. I've never seen that
They
anywhere.
lose weight fast, huh?
Quick. They just had nothing.
After they get through spawning at Darbone, what do they typically do over there?
Well, after they spawn, there's kind of a transition period. They get kind of rough to find. And then they get on them flats, chase them shad, and then, man, that late April, you can load the boat.
Bill
It's
freezes,
nice,
huh?
yeah. Up to June. June, it kind of starts slowing down, and we'll typically go to the river,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll start it all over again. You can go to the spillway, because usually you got a backwater, and it's just now getting out, and there's still a lot of current coming out of the lake.
Yeah,
You can get behind that spillway. That's when I like to chunk and wine at them.
chuck and wine.
Yeah, throw out there and you count it down, start reeling, they just load it up.
On that technique, you use what size jig heads, or just play with
I'll
them?
use a 16th.
16th, a real slow fall.
Yeah.
Count it down.
If the water's up a little bit too, we'll get in the edge of them bushes and just kind of flipping them bushes and let it fall down and pull it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's all your setup on your poles and line for your long line? What do you use typically?
I use, when I started out, I had all 6-footers, and then I said, why don't we get longer? Because we kind of noticed them fish, when you're going in your boat, they'll go right from the boat and come back.
Mm-hmm.
So we started using 6, 8, 10, and 12s, and now I'm using 8, 10, 12s, and 14s.
Right.
And I could go longer, I guess
Yeah.
that'd be better to get, because you catch most of your fish on the outside poles anyway.
Right.
Yeah, especially clear water.
Yeah.
And I think also one of my opinions on a longer pole is that the movement of the boat on that outside pole, as it's moving, that bait has more of an action to it.
Yeah.
So if you kind of twist it some,
Yeah.
that outside pole's going to have more of the action.
More action,
Yeah.
more play.
I never thought of that. But I use 6-pound line mostly.
Hmm. Yeah, that's all I've ever used is 6-pound, and I think that's one thing. A lot of guys get frustrated when they start long lining because they'll jump around with line sizes, and might use 10 pound, 8 pound, and 6 pound, and they can never figure it out. And I think that's one of the keys to it is staying consistent with the line sizes and the jig heads and even the body styles. You got to stay consistent to learn it.
To know where your jig, where your setup runs, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, another thing I noticed years ago was, and I can't explain it, but different boats pull different.
Really?
Like even a bay style boat might pull a little bit shallower than a deep V multi-species boat. I could have my poles and put them in a buddy of mine's boat, and they seem to fish different. And I think some of it might be even the angle of how much line's from the tip of the pole to the water.
Right.
You know, how much you've got them sitting up.
Yeah, because you see some guys that has them way up top and way. I mean, I've always been taught to have the line down close to the water.
I like to have my pole tip about 6 to 8 inches off of the water surface.
John, you do that?
I got mine. I got a bar across the back of my boat, and I got mine staggered. I got one low, like the one closer to the motor's low, and it comes up as it goes out.
Oh, you staircase
But it's not. But it's not. I mean, I may be a foot off the water with my last pole.
Yeah. So you like them close to the water?
Yeah, close as I can get them.
That's even with crankbaits. I say, guys, you know, using I don't know what kind of method would be, but having the pole tips up in the air. But I've always tried to keep my pole tips as close to the water as I can get them.
Yeah, you see them pontoon boat having 5 foot way up.
And I mean, they catch fish. I mean, that's whatever they're getting used to.
It looks like you stuff, like you say, to run shallower. Would you pole up in the air like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't stubborn enough not to do it.
Yeah, I think that's one of.
I didn't want to do it when we first. I said, I ain't buying all that mess.
Yeah, and like I said, all you need is spinning reels and some line.
Yeah, kind of the same way with crankbaits. I don't want to buy all the new line counter reels and all that, but maybe eventually one day.
I think it's one of those things that keep you fishing. You know, throughout the year for me anyway is. Some of the lakes that we fish, you need a bigger profile bait in the summertime to actually go out there and really catch fish. So I believe in having everything I can to catch fish. So I never stop crappie fishing throughout the year.
You crappie fish all year long, John?
I don't during duck season. You know, we're hunting pretty much during duck season, but I think I'm going to try to do a little more fishing this year.
So duck hunting or crappie fishing? Which one would it be?
Man, why you do that? I made up with both of them.
Yeah,
you know, it's pretty rough.
Who else on Duck Dynasty actually is a crappie fisherman that really that we don't know about yet?
Well, just me and Jay and Martin and Cy. Cy just likes to fish.
Yeah.
He'll talk them things all the way. He'll get one of them. Come here, you big crappie. You get in this boat, you rascal. You.
He calls them rascals.
Yeah. You big rascal. Yeah.
Oh, I bet that'd be a good time.
Oh, it's a good time just any time you're around. So.
Right, I can imagine.
He's like a good woman. You can't hunt with him. You can't hunt without him. Gotta have him around. Yeah.
What's his favorite technique to crappie fish?
Si, he don't have a favorite. Everything's his favorite. Yeah. Oh, he told me a story one time. Everything happens in Nam, Alabama, or Germany. Yeah, so he's in Alabama. He said he caught a 7-pound crappie. 7 pounds. I said, 7 pounds? He said, yeah, I had about 50 that day. I was sitting on the bank. I had my stringer out, you know, in the water. And just that kid said, I caught that big rascal. He said, that guy said, that's a big old bass you got there. He said, that ain't no bass, that's a crappie. I said, good night, son. Did you take a picture of it? He said, no, turtle eating.
Turtle eating?
Turtle eating. That's the only one he eat.
He skipped all over the other ones and just ate the 7-pounder.
Oh, I guess he's full.
Yeah. Ate one and that was enough.
That's he's just being Si. He loves everybody.
That's awesome. Let's talk about the Duck Commander series pose. You got you got one set behind you there.
Yeah.
Let's go over that real quick.
We called.
You can take it apart.
The old guy called. One of our marketing guys called. He said, B&M wants to partner with us. I was thinking free poles. But me and Jay, we'd been fishing B&M poles all our life. And, we'd used a bunch of them. And so Jack Wells at B&M sent us some stuff. He said, I want y'all to fish. He said, I just don't want to put y'all's name on it. I want y'all to fish with it and tell me what you like. Build you a pole.
Right.
And I said, well, that's pretty neat right there. So we did. And we liked a little more backbone. I called them Flemings one of them buggy whips. I probably shouldn't call them that, but that's what we called them. And but I can see in the shallow waters what I call them, shallow water poles, because they can't go down. They got to go sideways when they hit. And I can see, they don't feel as much weight on the hook to them, and you can get them. And I wanted a long chartreuse tip, because when we spider rig, me and Jay like to catch each other's fish, catch that off guard and catch. Yeah. So I said, put me a 2-foot mark on there, and I said then we wanted a mark every foot.
That's a great.
Because how many times have somebody said, what eye did you have at it?
That's right.
How deep was that? That's now, 5 eyes, 6 eyes.
Is that what's the separation of each?
It's 1 foot. So the tip's 2, and this would be 3, 4, and on down.
Yeah, so you're on the phone with your buddies. Oh, you know exactly where
you
they're at.
Pick your pole up and swing that bait down. You see where it's at.
What all sizes are the
10, 12, 14, the trollers, We got a double touch. We got them from 8 to 12. And it's a double touch. It's got a rear reel seat, but not completely real. We got rear. We got a little bit of handle sticking out the back. So if you're sitting up there holding 2 poles, and you need to put one down, you can just stick it in a rod rack.
Awesome.
Or, you don't want to buy certain poles for certain things.
Yeah.
Need to borrow you spider rig with
you long line with this pole or
I do. Rig? Yeah, I do. It's got enough backbone. It's fine.
Sure so you can spider rig and long line, so you can knock out 2 different techniques with 1 series of poles. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's good. Yeah, it's great. They got. I think that's why B&M's poles are so good myself, is because he lets people design them the things they like. There's dock shooting, there's single pole, there's all kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's just like a truck, when you first got your first truck, and you're so proud of it, and then now you get a 4-wheel drive's a little better,
Right. Then go out and get some accessories and put on it.
Oh yeah.
A lot of signature series poles being here.
I like them. Pretty good.
What's your favorite? Like you've been all the way from up to Truman, here there in Missouri. What's your favorite like you've been on so far?
I'm gonna have to say Grenada, Arca Butler. Not really one specific, but I guess the big 4. Just the big 4.
Just the big crappie.
I've never fished here at Washington. I'm fixing to get to.
Yeah. Let's get a hook wet right there.
We're gonna do that this afternoon.
I've been wanting to do that, so I'm fired up.
I know. Kind of mentioned a little bit about long lining, and what's some of your typical spider rig setups? Do you use live bait mainly, or you put some of these?
I will use a lot of live. The Caps and Coleman double minnow rigs. I use that a lot, and sometimes I'll cut the bottom hook off, and I'll put this 30-second on there on that bottom line, and I'll either just put a minnow on it, or I'll put this little body on it right here, with a minnow, and fish it like that. Or we just fish it, you can put this on here, because 0.3, 0.4 is fine. This tail's gonna spin,
Like on that, let's say you're gonna go out and spider rig this curly tail. How would you want to go about 0.5, let's say? What would you tie up? How would you tie it up?
Just by itself?
Yeah. Or
I would probably 0.5. I would still use that heavy sinker. I would just have it on there, and I'd put it on the 30-second still, because I want that lightness. Because you're gonna have your like a 1/2 ounce bale weight above it for your weight, so you'll still be vertical.
Right.
But you put a little jig on there like that, to keep it on light on the bottom.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's kind of typically what I do. Is I like to have a 1/16 is kind of what I use generally, but depending on speed, a half ounce or a 3/4 ounce, 18, 20 inches above it, and
Yeah.
right there, I'd probably catch a couple right there, I would imagine.
I can't go till about another hour.
That's right. I know one of the questions that we had posted this week was, we've got cold front conditions and muddy water.
Yeah.
What would be one of the things that you would try to get out there and do today if you were fishing?
Man, that's tough for anybody, but
Go
you
duck
gotta go out there to try them.
That's right.
I know it. I was just thinking about that 30.4.
Yeah. High pressure
Yeah,
day.
13 mile an hour wind. We fixing to bag them.
Yeah. Hey, we just might.
That's the thing about crappie fishing. I guess in my mind that you just never know until you throw these hooks out and let the fish kind of tell us what we're going to need to do and change up.
Some of my best days have been out there like it is right now.
Yeah. I'd try a long liner.
Yeah, we will today.
If they won't eat it, slow down.
That's right.
Speaking of
Slow
eating,
down, maybe.
what's your you got a favorite recipe for crappie?
Yeah.
What's your
Let me
favorite
tell
recipe?
you.
All right, I'm
We
ready.
use mustard and flour.
Mustard and
Not
flour.
cornmeal.
Not cornmeal.
I'll put them in a big bowl, salt and pepper them, mix it up real good, and then I'll put mustard on there and get it mixed up real good. And then I'll take some Cool Ranch Doritos and smash them up and put them in my flour and pour it in there and mix it all up. Fry that up. 375. I want it quick.
375.
It puts a good
crisp on it.
good fry on it.
Yeah.
You feed that to your woman, you fixing to get boat money, gas
Minimum
money. That's right.
Hey, you got to remember that. Write
Yeah,
that one down then
yeah.
for sure.
It'll do it. They love it.
Hmm.
Sure do.
You say you was coming out with a light wire hook?
Now he's got
you
can go to crappie.magnet.com. He's got some trollars. It's got that offset. It's got a light wire hook, and it'll bend,
Get stuck.
instead of breaking off every time,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty good. These are about a medium. They're not real light, but they'll pull off too if you just take it easy. We kind of, a lot of people when they hang up doing stuff like that, they want to jerk. When I see a pole hung up, I'll grab it out of the rack and I'll give it to it.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of do like this,
Kind of tug it.
and it'll just give it and let go, give it and let go, and most time it'll pull off. It'll pull itself off.
Yeah, one of the things that I do in that same way is I'll keep it tight and I'll take the line and kind of take it back and rubber band it like.
Yeah.
Bass fishermen do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of copy their technique, and a lot of times that little snap will free that jig head up.
That's weird how they'll do that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that, especially being that far back behind the boat, but
Yeah, I seen that. I was on the water one day and I seen that. I heard that snapping sound. I looked over and I was like, "What is he doing?"
Mhm.
Finally, you caught on. I've never seen that before.
That's weird. Just like crappie fishing. Somebody will catch them one way and they'll say, "I caught them like this." You'll say, "How in the world they catch them like that?" But
Yeah, it's hard to catch somebody else's fish. Huh,
yeah,
when
it
they do
is.
that like that.
It is.
Hmm.
It is.
I think we could take a little sponsor break real quick.
All right, guys, we're back with the Crappie Connection with Justin Berry,
Brad Chappell here.
our special guest John Godwin. Want to give special thanks to Crappie Crazy and the Direction TV with Mark Stowe. Check them out on Facebook, all the social media pages. John, you just want to mention something about how did you get into crappie fishing, all the fishing?
Well, Daddy, I grew up bass fishing, but I can always remember, Daddy taking me out and he'd make it fun. I remember some of my fondest memories would be when the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays started, you know, because I knew he was going to get me from school. We was going to the deer camp, you know.
Yeah.
And so I've always been in the outdoors from, I mean, young. One thing he did when we was fishing I didn't like, I just hated it, is the ice chest he'd put the cokes in.
Mm-hmm.
He'd throw the fish in there with
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah,
hated
I've done
them
that.
slimy cokes. He said, wipe it off, wipe it off.
Dip it in the water.
Yeah, I still do that to this
I
day.
hated that. But I can always remember, you know, when we'd go to deer camp, he'd take me to the base. Even before I was old enough to carry a gun, you know, or sit in a stand by myself, he'd take me out there and wrap me up in a big blanket and rake the leaves back from the tree, and I'd sit there against the tree, and he'd drop stuff down on me when he'd see a deer, you know, point me that. I always remembered that, you know. He always made it fun for me.
Yeah, that's a big thing, and I think crappie fishing has such a good way to introduce kids into crappie fishing, from
Yeah.
the long lining to the
Right.
casting, dragging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just so many
'Cause they like
techniques.
to
The
keep
cast.
throwing, you know. They like to keep busy.
Yeah, I take my 5-year-old, and he's always, you know, wanting to cast.
Something as simple as bobber fishing, you know, we kind of
Yeah.
touch about it here and there, but I think it actually gets overlooked a lot by the mainstream of things, but it's still so effective and fun for people to
Yeah.
just go out there
Yeah.
with a bobber.
Well, that's where you all started.
That's
I
the rest
remember
of it.
when Daddy kept saying, "You need a crappie fish. Let's get some crappie." And I finally broke down and went with him one time. We caught some. I said, "Well, it's all right, you know." And then I went again, and then it started getting into me. And then I got a jig tying thing. Oh, I was tying jigs. We was tying jigs
Yeah.
up.
Now, how old was you then when you started doing that?
Yeah, oh, it wasn't probably 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. I've probably been crappie fishing, not really, but about 10 or 12 years, really.
Really?
That's when me and Jay finally started to do it, you know. We'd be bass fishing. We'd be coming down the channel at Darbone, and all them old farts would be in the channel, you know, blocking the channel. You'd have to slow down.
Yeah.
I told him the other day, I said, "Look at all of you. We out here in the middle of the channel. We used to grab at all these guys. Now we are them."
Yeah, yeah.
What made you just decide to get up and crappie fish? I mean, was it just you and Jay?
Well, it was Daddy got me started, and I told Jay, I said, "Let's try to catch some of these things." Because they was way better at eating than bass, you know,
Oh, yeah,
anyway.
absolutely. What did you? I know one of the names that I referred to crappie growing up was white perch, and I remember you saying that last
Yeah.
night. White perch.
White perch, that's what we called them. Then as I've traveled around and different people call them crappie, I just started calling them crappie. But that's what we call
Yeah,
them, white perch.
That's what I grew up knowing.
White perch.
Crappie
Yeah.
as white perch.
Yeah.
Somebody
I
said
thought
crappie, and I was like, "Man, what are y'all talking
Yeah.
about?"
Yeah.
And
Okay.
finally it clicked one day. I was like, "Oh, that's actually a crappie, huh?"
Yeah.
All
And
kinds of slangs.
on the East Coast, they call them crappie.
Yeah,
Crappie.
crappie.
But there ain't nothing crappie about them.
That's right.
There ain't nothing
Well,
there.
these suckers are good to eat,
Yeah.
boy.
Fun to catch, good to eat. It just
Yeah.
kind of goes with everything. And
Man.
They got all kinds of names for them.
I think another thing that's really cool about crappie fishing in my mind is just like, you know, John coming here and being on the show is, you know, the different people that's really wanting to get out there and become buddies like we are and talk about crappie fishing, and the community of crappie fishing is growing, and, you know, getting a lot of support from different people like you guys at
Yeah.
Duck Commander, Fin Commander, and listening to the anglers.
Yeah, that's one thing. Even like a tournament comes and I've got something I can't do at home, I still go up there because it just seems like the crappie family is different. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm. It's still competition.
it's still competition, but they'll let you know what they're catching them on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm
Yeah, they-
catching them in this deeper water.
Yeah.
They'll share information easily.
Bass fishing? No, sir. It's like the holy grail. I
Yeah.
ain't telling you nothing. But I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one thing I really like is, you know, I started fishing Magnolia Crappie Club, a little small tournament, but, and I say small, I mean, they're averaging 50 boats a tournament, and, you know, some excellent fishermen. But so I advise people to go look out there for some different local clubs to get involved with, and
Yeah.
I know Louisiana started 2 or 3 right now, and from Crappie Masters, I know just like you said in the beginning, you was hoping just to get a top 10 finish and, you know,
End up
wind up
winning
winning a tournament. I mean, how
Yeah.
special is that?
It was. I couldn't believe it. It was. But I could say I knew it was because earlier in that we fished with Kyle Shane here and Ronnie Capps come up there and we
Pretty good teachers there.
done a show with Crappie time,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd never been there before, and they caught them. They caught a bunch of fish, and I'm thinking they ain't never been here before. I was thinking to myself, that's why they call them pros.
They were both excellent fishermen,
they
to say the
did it.
least.
They are. But it was something. But it's pretty nice, going and meeting everybody, and everybody seems, real nice. And
Yeah, you see everybody on social media and Facebook, and it's kind of like a gathering sometimes. Which I've only fished a handful, but it's always good to come up and see them guys that you see on Facebook all the time, and you just get to get caught up. It's kind of like going to deer camp there for a little bit. You get caught up with each other.
Yeah.
Coming around, going fishing together like we're going to get to do this afternoon, and getting different people's boats, and sharing techniques, and keep learning different ways to crappie fish is it's amazing to me. And I know one of my favorite things is traveling to different lakes I've never been to.
Yeah.
We kind of touched on it with Tony Shepard on the show as far as going out west, and it's not heard of out there yet. And man, I just think they're missing the fun of it.
Yeah.
You think you ever see crappie fishing as big as bass fishing, John?
I didn't, but I think we headed that way. I mean, it's I never thought it'd be, like with the Crappie Masters and ACT with the pull-up weigh-ins. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And some pretty stiff competition too.
Oh yeah.
I had a guy that messaged me from out west after the last podcast, and he said he asked me, I'm all the way here in Missouri in the Midwest here, and he asked me, he said, you know any crappie tournaments out here in California? I was like, no, I have no idea. They have nothing out there like that, and there's all kinds of crappie out there.
They probably got them big old blacks too.
Yeah, I
They
think
do.
so.
They do. I think we Googled it when we was doing that, and Arizona's got some big specs out there.
Yeah.
Tell us about your boat setup, John. Let's go detail what you
I
do.
got got a skeeter. I got a
How big is
it's
it?
18 foot,
18 foot.
and I got the Millennium double seat things and sidekicks, what they call them. But man, them things are comfortable.
Yeah.
And of course, I've hunted out of them Millennium deer stands with that seat. And that seat I really like.
And they are.
And
they're
for a big boy, they got a big seat. It's nice. And but yeah, I got that. I got a Ultrax stroller motor with the remote and iPilot and Humminbird electronics. I mean, what more would you want? Long lining. You got an easy chair. You got a remote, and you got a big screen TV to watch. All you got to do is go catch them.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Chunk them out and go.
And I got the 360. That was a pretty neat tool.
You got used to it pretty good?
I'm still learning a lot about it, but I tell you what, me and Jay was fishing when they was spawning, and we was targeting underwater stumps that you couldn't see, and that's a big plus.
Oh, yeah.
And because everybody else was going over them, but we could see them, and we'd go over there, and we could tell which pole would go off. We'd say, okay, number 3 is gonna go off. It'd go off.
And do you have it interlinked with your main console up to your front?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I got that box under there with the Ethernet and all that.
Have you seen that new Garmin? What's that called?
Line scope?
Yeah, line scope. Have you seen that?
Yeah, with that dude
That's
swimming
pretty
down
sharp.
there. Yeah, that's pretty big.
You be staring at the screen the whole time.
Yeah,
The whole time you be staring at it.
That's crazy. How technology just,
Well, it's advancing every day.
man. Daddy says and all that on my boat. He said, "Well, you're cheating." I said, "Don't talk with your mouth full."
That's right.
Everybody wants to say you're cheating. They ain't saying that when they come in for the fish fry, huh?
Yeah, they quiet about it then. Pass me that coleslaw.
Goodness. Was there anything else coming out? Fin Commander coming out? Any new style bait you working on or anything?
No, we just coming out with new colors. Different colors. And he's got Jeff just put a deal on where he's put a pack of different colors, some new colors that's come out, and gonna let the public name it. So That's pretty good. That's pretty
Let
cool.
the public name the colors.
That's right.
And when they going to do that?
He's had it going on right now.
It's on like a Facebook or just a website?
Just about, yeah. I don't know if it's over or getting close to being
on
over.
Fin Commander's Facebook, so you guys need to check that out.
Fin Commander and Crappie Magnets, yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat to, when I build duck calls, and I feel the same way about, having something to do with these baits and poles. When I go in a store and I see a duck call hanging there, it kind of makes me feel proud that
I can imagine.
I kept, I might have made that call and somebody's going to use that to hunt ducks with, or somebody's going to use these baits to catch fish with. It's just a pretty neat feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine the outdoor industry and over the years how much it's changed for you. Going from the duck hunting side to the fishing side, and I know it's definitely a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah, that and the Duck Dynasty's certainly opened a lot of doors for me. That was a blessing. Boy, when they came down there and got a hold to us, and of course everything happens around Miss K's table, which needs to, as you can tell. But they talked about doing a show, and we was fired up because we thought we was gonna get hunting on main TV. They said, "No, we ain't gonna film y'all hunting." And Phil said, "Yeah, that'll work." But it did.
All right.
It's crazy.
How many seasons did it have?
We had 11 seasons, 130 episodes.
130.
But we was kind of different from anything else. We had 2 seasons in 1 year, so we actually only filmed for 5 years. And we would go from February till duck season started.
Duck season, it closed down.
Closed down. Yeah, they wanted us to film during duck season, and Phil kind of shut that down, so... He said, "This is the duck part of Duck Dynasty." So,
you already branch off and do a crappie show.
Yeah. No, I'd do it. But I'd hate to have to crappie fish every day.
No, it'd be horrible.
Just travel all the 48 states. Crappie fish. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
You imagine going to other towns like that. You don't even know what's going on. Just
It's like some people, they'll follow the flight all the way down south. We can just go follow the spawn all the way up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Start south in Florida and just work your way up.
There you go.
Sounds like a winner to me.
Yeah, because it'd be July, up north, and they spawning.
Yeah.
And it'd still be just cool weather. It'd be nice.
Where do I sign up for this?
I know.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
We're taking donations.
Donations.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on today and spending some time, and I can't wait to actually get to go fishing with you today, and we'll post some pictures of it hopefully, and definitely want to have you back on here the show. And
we're gonna have to sit on the lid of the ice chest and keep it
right.
shut.
That's right. That's right. Was there anything else you want to add, John? Anything else you want to add?
No, just we put out new material on our YouTube. Every week, new material. Just go over and check us out. Like and share.
On the Fin Commander, right?
It's a Commander Life off our Duck Commander YouTube channel. Yeah.
I got you.
Hunting and fishing.
Hunting and fishing. That's right.
Man, it sounds like a song, don't it?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Well, Brad, anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, guys, ladies and gentlemen, special guest John Godwin. Man, John, thanks for coming on. It's
Thanks
for
having me. Thanks for having me.
Other than that, we're signing out, guys. We appreciate it.
All right, holler.
Place I'll always remember. Cabin on the lake and a fishing pole. River here, I'll rest my soul. I can feel my worries drift away. Being out in the sun all day.